Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a second, but there have been some major life updates of the cat variety. Video on that coming soon. But today, I'm going to talk to you about 5 seemingly small decor choices that will make a huge difference in your home. And I'm going to be ranking these in order of what I think will make the biggest differences. Up first, we have all things curtains. I know curtains aren't typically something that most people think of first. They're usually like a last minute decision and you just throw them up there, right? But I'm here to tell you that curtains actually make a huge difference in any room that they're in. Let's talk about length and height first, because I think that makes the biggest difference. The rule that I like to follow when hanging my curtains is that the top of the curtains need to be about 1 inch or 2 off the ceiling. And that might sound crazy to you guys because typically people just hang curtains right at the top of their window. But trust me on this one, if you hang your curtains higher than you would think to normally, it actually makes your room look significantly taller. The curtains end up drawing your eyes upwards and the room just looks taller and more spacious. That means that it's really important when you're hanging your curtain rod to figure out where the curtain will actually sit based on the ceiling height. My favorite way of doing this is just hanging a panel of your curtain on your curtain rod and just holding it up near the ceiling just to get a feel for where you think the curtain rod should actually go. As far as the length of your curtain, you can go one of 2 ways. You can have the bottom of the curtains just barely touch the floor so that when you open and close the curtains, they just skim the floor nicely. That's definitely one way to do it. Now, my preference is to actually have the curtains a little bit longer than that. I like that romantic feel of the curtains just laying on the floor a little bit towards the bottom. Not too much so that you're tripping over them, but just enough to give you that airy feel. Either way works, but the biggest takeaway here is to make sure that your curtains lengthen the look and feel of any room. Another good tip is to have enough curtain panels so that if you were to spread each panel out completely, they would be double the width of your window. Having this extra fabric makes your curtains drape beautifully when they're open and when they're closed. And the last little tip here with curtains is that I like to actually hang the curtain rod so that the curtain panels lay a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right of the actual window. This means that when the curtains are completely open, you let in as much light as possible. And you end up making the window look a little bit bigger just because of that optical illusion of having the curtains right in front of the wall. So basically the ends of the curtain rod wouldn't end with the window, they would actually be a little bit further out. Coming in at number 2 is rug size. It may seem kind of strange, but actually rug sizes make a huge difference in how you view an entire room overall. One of the most common mistakes that I see is having a rug that is too small. I rarely see a rug that's too big. And I know this is typically a budget issue. I get it, rugs are so expensive. In my experience, it's better just to wait and purchase that rug that's a little bit bigger that actually fits the size of your room. You're probably going to end up upgrading to a bigger rug anyway, which means you're going to be spending more money in the long run. So what sized rugs should you get? Well, that actually depends on which room you're furnishing. With a living room, there's 2 ways you could go. The first way is to have a rug that's big enough so that the front legs of all of your furniture in your living room sit on top of it. This means that the back legs of your furniture may not sit on top of the carpet, but the front to about the middle should be on top of the carpet. This makes it so that wherever you're sitting on a couch or on a chair in your living room, your feet are always on a fuzzy surface. The second rug size you could go with is having a rug big enough so that all of your furniture sits right on top of it. This means that the back of your furniture would also be on the rug and the carpet would extend a little bit further back than that furniture. Obviously, this means that this rug size is going to be significantly bigger than the first rug size. You may think, oh my gosh, that means I need to get a huge rug because my couch is all the way at the back end of the wall and then my other couch is all the way at the side wall. My rug would have to span the entire room. I'll throw in another quick tip here, so I'll call it tip 2.5. Do not push all of your furniture to the sides of your room. Sometimes that's necessary, but that's pretty rare. When you get your furniture off of those walls and closer to the middle of the room, make it a nice little cozy semicircle, you'll actually find that your living room ends up being much cozier and aesthetically pleasing. What about the rug size for a dining room? My biggest tip here is to get a rug that is big enough so that when your dining room chairs are pulled back a little bit, the legs still sit on the rug. And I know, again, this might be a little bit bigger than what you're used to, but it's truly annoying when you're sitting down at a dining room table and you're trying to pull the chair and it keeps getting stuck in the rug. That's just no bueno. And then what about the rug size for a bedroom? There's actually a couple different ways you can do this. You could either get a rug that fits your entire bed completely on it and still has a good couple feet on the sides of the bed and in front. If you want to get away with a smaller rug size, you could just get a rug that fits the bottom half of your bed on top of it and still leaves a little bit of room on the sides and in the front of your bed. And the last way you could configure your rug size for your bedroom is just to have two runners. One on the left and one on the right hand side of your bed. The third tip is the wonderful world of mirrors. Obviously, mirrors are a necessity, but I challenge you to make mirrors a decor moment. They don't just have to be in bathrooms and in closets. They could be in your living room. They could be in your dining room. They could honestly be anywhere. They obviously reflect light, so they are a great way to brighten up a room and even make a room look bigger. I love the idea of hanging mirrors in every entryway. It just makes sense. You want to check yourself out a little bit before you head out the door. So a mirror there would be perfect. They're also great for guests who just walk in and want a quick check-in before they head inside. I also love mirrors at the end of hallways. That might sound weird, but usually hallways are dark and dimly lit, and mirrors just help with that. You could also use bigger mirrors just to lean by the walls for that cool, relaxed, aesthetically pleasing decor moment. And when you lean those mirrors against walls, you can put a couple things at the foot of that mirror and just make it beautiful. Tip number 4 is to add greenery. Now I know not everyone is as obsessed with plants as I am. That's okay. All I'm saying is adding in that pop of green may just be what you need. Even if you have a very neutral color palette, that green will actually give you that edge to take your space up a notch. And you can always use fake plants instead of real ones if you don't have a green thumb. Just make sure to find those artificial plants that actually look real. It'll add so much to your space, I promise. And the last tip I have for you, tip number 5, may seem pretty obvious, but I promise you, it's a big one. The wonderful world of lighting. Your choice of table lamps, floor lamps, pendant lights, sconces, overhead lighting, all of that matters. So think things through and be intentional with it. If you have a couple different styles that you're trying to mesh together, lighting is a great way to do it. Maybe have a couple floor lamps that are that mid-century modern style you like, and then have a couple table lamps that are industrial to fuse those styles together. And the last thing that people rarely think about when it comes to lighting is the temperature. Lighting can truly set the mood for a space, so choose your color temperature wisely. If you want a soft, warm white, go for that 2200 to 3000 Kelvin temperature range. If you want more of that neutral white, go for a 3500 to 4100 Kelvin range. And if you want that bright daylight look, go for 5000 to 6500 Kelvin range. And that's it. Those were my top 5 small decor changes to make that will elevate your interior design style greatly. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this quick little video, and don't forget to let me know in the comments below what your favorite tip was. And if you have any quick tips of your own, I would love to hear those. I have a lot more DIYs and decor related videos coming up soon, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.